In the 1990s, Cadillac aimed to achieve the impossible, develop an American V8 capable of outperforming European rivals. The result was the GM Northstar. A 4.6-liter aluminum engine featuring dual overhead cams and 32 valves, delivering up to 320 horsepower. It powered Cadillacs capable of accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds, performing flawlessly on the track and even limping home after a coolant failure. Truly an engineering marvel. However, the innovation was followed by disaster. Blown head gaskets, stripped threads, and repair costs that often exceeded the car's value. Initially celebrated as Detroit's savior, the Northstar ultimately became a symbol of overreach and lost trust. This is the story of the rise and fall of GM's most ambitious engine. Enjoy this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. When the Northstar debuted in 1993, it stunned everyone. For an American V8, the technology was unheard of. It had dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, and an all-aluminum build, features usually reserved for high-end European cars. Not something out of Detroit. Everything about this engine displayed ambition. Both the block and heads were made from aluminum, which helped cut down on weight and improve handling. It also featured variable valve timing and sequential fuel injection, advanced systems that optimized performance and fuel efficiency. But the real attraction was its unique split-block design. Instead of using traditional main bearing caps, GM engineers designed a solid bed plate that ran across the bottom of the engine. This made the whole structure much stiffer and reduced vibrations dramatically. The result? A silky smooth ride that could easily compete with the likes of Mercedes and BMW. Inside, the cylinder liners were made of cast iron, but were embedded directly into the aluminum block. That brilliant mix offered the durability of iron with the lightweight benefits of aluminum. A perfect example of GM's clever engineering, and the performance lived up to the promise. The L37 version of the 4.6-liter V8 produced around 290 to 300 horsepower, while the torque-focused LD8 made 275 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. Later, the improved LH2 version, used in cars like the Cadillac STS, cranked things up to 320 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. For luxury car buyers who had gotten used to heavy, lazy American engines, this was a revelation. The Northstar didn't just move, it performed. Smooth, powerful, and refined, it made Cadillac feel truly alive again. One of the Northstar V8's most mind-blowing features was its limp home mode, something that sounded more like science fiction than 1990s engineering. If the engine lost coolant, the computer would automatically shut down 4 of the 8 cylinders, cycling between them to keep the engine cool. That meant you could literally drive the car to safety even after a severe failure. Pulling that off required an incredibly advanced engine management system, one capable of juggling between 8 and 4 cylinders in real time while constantly monitoring temperature data. Then came variable valve timing, which fine-tuned cam timing across the RPM range for smoother power and better efficiency. The independent ignition delivered pinpoint spark control, and the lightweight thermoplastic intake manifold helped cut heat while boosting output. These weren't minor upgrades. They were groundbreaking innovations that pushed American engine technology into a new era. Publications like Business Week, Automobile Magazine, and even Rolling Stone showered praise on Cadillacs powered by the Northstar. For a brief moment, GM had done it. They'd built a truly world-class American luxury engine that could stand toe-to-toe with Europe's best. What most people don't realize is that the Northstar didn't just live under luxury car hoods. It actually found success on the racetrack too. In 1995, a highly modified 650 horsepower version of the 4.0-liter Northstar, known as the Aurora L47, powered GM's IMSA sports car efforts. Cars like the Aurora GTS1 and the Riley and Scott LMP prototypes proved that when engineers unleashed their full potential, the Northstar's design was far more capable than most gave it credit for. Its most significant moment came with Cadillac's Le Mans prototype program from 2000 to 2002. Under those cars' sleek carbon fiber bodies sat a twin-turbo 4.0-liter Northstar-based engine, still aluminum, still DOHC, but now built for endurance racing. It produced incredible power and showed that the Northstar's foundation was rock solid. Even though it never captured major victories at Le Mans, the fact that this same engine architecture was competing at one of motorsport's highest levels said everything. It proved that the Northstar wasn't just ambitious engineering on paper. It was a real piece of performance history. At its peak, the Northstar V8 wasn't just a luxury engine. It was a statement. The Supercharged LC3 versions that powered the 2006 to 2009 Cadillac STSV and XLRV finally showed what this engine was truly capable of. Engineers reduced the displacement to 4.4 liters, redesigned nearly 40% of the internal parts, and dropped the compression ratio to 9.0 to 1 to handle an Eaton M122 supercharger. The result? A remarkable 469 horsepower in the STSV and 443 in the XLRV. Each engine was hand-built at GM's Performance Build Center by a single technician, then dyno tested before ever being installed in a car. The result was smooth, relentless power, with 90% of its torque available from just 2,200 all the way to 6,000 RPM. It pulled hard at any speed, finally giving Cadillac a real chance to stand toe-to-toe with Europe's best. When car and driver clocked the STSV at 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds, it proved that GM could build a world-class performance luxury sedan. And even today, those numbers still hold up. The head gasket catastrophe that killed it all behind, all that impressive engineering, was a ticking time bomb, one that would haunt the Northstar's legacy forever. The real trouble began with the head gasket design and GM's choice of torque-to-yield head bolts. These bolts were meant to stretch slightly when tightened, ensuring an even seal, but they couldn't be reused. The problem? The Northstar used fine thread bolts that bit directly into the soft aluminum block. When the engine overheated, which happened often due to other cooling issues, those bolts would stretch too far, strip the threads, and lose their hold. To make matters worse, galvanic corrosion between the steel bolts and the aluminum block slowly weakened the threads over time. Once those threads failed, the clamping pressure disappeared. Coolant started leaking into the cylinders, and the overheating problem quickly turned into a full-blown disaster. Repairing it wasn't simple or cheap. The proper fix required drilling out the damaged threads and installing steel inserts known as timeserts, or upgrading to heavy-duty stud kits. Either way, the repair could efficiently run between $4,000 and $7,000, if you could even find a shop willing to touch it. In the end, head gasket failure didn't just ruin engines. It ruined the Northstar's reputation. What was once GM's most advanced V8 became one of its most infamous. It wasn't just engines the Northstar destroyed, it wrecked wallets too. When a Northstar finally gave up from a blown head gasket, that's when the absolute nightmare began. Usually, replacing a head gasket is expensive but manageable. But with the Northstar, it was a completely different story. Its complicated sideways-mounted layout turned what should have been a standard repair into a full-blown mechanical ordeal. GM's own service manual didn't make things easier. The mechanic was told to pull the entire engine, subframe and all, just to replace a head gasket. No shortcuts, no clever tricks. You needed a special lift, factory tools, and an ocean of patience. Even seasoned mechanics dreaded the job. Smaller garages didn't have the room, the gear, or the time to take it on. And then came the cost. A basic repair often started around $2,400, but could easily climb past $4,500. In worse cases, where the engine was too far gone, it could hit $6,000 or even $7,000. The painful irony? By that time, most Northstar-equipped Cadillacs were only worth $3,000 to $5,000. One blown gasket could turn a luxury car into a financial disaster, not because it couldn't be fixed, but because it simply wasn't worth fixing. Parts alone were a headache. You had to replace the single-use torque-to-yield head bolts with stronger studs, resurface the heads, swap every gasket and seal, and check for other hidden wear. Aftermarket solutions like the Northstar Performance Stud Kit offered a permanent fix, but at a steep price. Shops knew the risks. Many flat out refused to touch Northstars, not because they couldn't, but because one car could tie up a lift for days with little profit to show for it. That left owners scrambling to find specialized repair shops, sometimes waiting weeks just to get on the schedule. For do-it-yourself mechanics, it was even worse. Pulling a Northstar without a professional lift was almost impossible. One frustrated owner summed it up perfectly. It took me 10 hours just to prepare the engine for removal, and I wasn't even halfway through. That line said it all. The Northstar wasn't just an engine. It was a wallet-eating monster hiding under a Cadillac badge. If the head gasket problem didn't ruin the Northstar's reputation, the oil issues surely did. Early versions of the engine, especially between 1993 and 1999, had piston rings that quickly accumulated carbon deposits. Once that happened, they couldn't properly seal against the cylinder walls, causing the engine to burn through oil at an alarming rate. Owners found themselves constantly checking dipsticks and topping off oil, sometimes after just a few hundred miles. GM tried to fix it around 2000 by redesigning the piston rings, but that solution came with a new headache. The change led to carbon buildup inside the cylinders, raising combustion temperatures and causing more overheating. And when a Northstar overheated, head gasket failure wasn't far behind. GM even lowered the compression ratio from 10.3 to 10.0 in an attempt to reduce these temperature spikes. But the damage was already done. The oil leak problems didn't help either. Valve cover gaskets were known to fail, dripping oil onto hot exhaust manifolds and filling garages with that unmistakable burnt oil smell. On top of that, the rear main seal wore out prematurely on early models because of GM's original installation method. They corrected it after 2000, but for years the issue haunted owners and mechanics alike. Even the smaller components weren't spared. Oil pressure sensors and filter adapters often developed leaks that could dump oil fast enough to cause severe engine damage. For a luxury engine that was supposed to symbolize refinement, the constant oil worries became a major embarrassment. If the Northstar's oil issues frustrated owners, its repair complexity drove mechanics insane. The engine's advanced design might have looked great on paper, but in the real world it was a nightmare to service. The most notorious example, the starter. GM decided to mount it deep in the valley of the engine, hidden under the intake manifold. So what should have been a simple starter swap turned into a massive job. Mechanics had to remove the entire intake manifold, disconnect fuel lines, and carefully handle multiple electrical connections just to reach it. This wasn't just inconvenient, it was costly. What should have been a quick 2-hour repair easily turned into an all-day job, sometimes costing owners upwards of $2,000. And the problems didn't stop there. In front-wheel drive setups, the Northstar's transverse mounting made even basic maintenance feel like brain surgery. Accessing anything in the cramped engine bay required special tools, extra time, and often specialized knowledge that many independent shops simply didn't have. The aluminum construction, while helping keep weight down, made things even trickier. Threads could strip easily if not handled with extreme care, adding another layer of stress to already complicated repairs. Then came GM's so-called limp home mode. On paper, it sounded like a brilliant safety feature. This engine could keep running even after overheating, giving drivers a chance to reach a safe spot instead of being stranded. Sounds clever, but in reality, it only made things worse. Every minute spent driving in limp mode pushed the already weak head bolts closer to failure. Instead of saving the engine, it often sped up its destruction. The longer it ran, the more internal damage piled up, quietly turning a minor problem into a catastrophic one. The Northstar's downfall wasn't just about what failed, it was about timing. While GM was battling head gasket failures and oil consumption issues, Toyota was quietly rewriting the rulebook. In 1989, the Lexus LS400 debuted with the 1UZF EV8, a 4.0-liter quad-cam engine that was a masterpiece of refinement. It made 250 horsepower, ran whisper quiet, and could last over 300,000 miles with minimal maintenance. While Cadillac owners faced costly repairs, Lexus drivers enjoyed flawless reliability and effortless performance. Toyota's philosophy was simple: precision first, complexity second. GM's Northstar, though advanced, proved that engineering brilliance means nothing without durability. That difference, Lexus's obsession with perfection versus GM's rush for innovation, defined the era. In the end, Toyota didn't just out-engineer Cadillac, it outlasted it, showing that true luxury isn't about power or technology, it's about trust. By the mid-2000s, the Northstar name had become something GM couldn't escape. Among mechanics, the Northstar condition became a running joke. Code for one thing: head gasket failure. Almost every Northstar engine hit that same problem right around 100,000 miles, no matter how well it was treated. Word spread quickly through repair shops, car forums, and used car lots. Before long, buyers started avoiding Cadillacs with Northstar engines entirely. Resale values dropped fast, and even loyal Cadillac fans began to lose trust. The engine's complex design, once seen as proof of cutting-edge engineering, started working against it. Routine maintenance was far from routine. Simple jobs often required taking apart major sections of the engine. When the big repairs came, they usually cost more than the car was even worth. Independent mechanics didn't want the hassle, leaving owners stuck with expensive dealership visits or rare Northstar specialists. Finally, the same innovation that made the Northstar famous also became its downfall. It wasn't just an engine problem anymore, it was a reputation problem. What began as GM's bold statement of American engineering turned into a warning story about how fast trust can disappear in the auto world. By 2011, GM had seen enough. After nearly 2 decades, the Northstar program quietly came to an end. The last of these engines powered the Cadillac DTS, Buick Lucerne, and Cadillac STS, closing the book on one of GM's most ambitious engineering experiments. And the replacement said it all. Cadillac returned to the tried-and-true LS pushrod V8, ditching the high-tech overhead cam design entirely. Exact production numbers are hard to pin down, but GM built hundreds of thousands of Northstars between 1993 and 2011. Most were naturally aspirated engines fitted into luxury sedans. Only about 12,000 were the supercharged LC3 variants found in the STS-V and XLR-V. Rare machines that later earned a small but loyal following for their raw performance. The Northstar's end symbolized more than just a discontinued engine. It marked the closing of an era when GM tried to match European sophistication on its own terms. The technology was genuinely impressive. Variable valve timing, aluminum construction, and advanced management systems, all ahead of their time. But for all its brilliance, the Northstar became a case study in how sound engineering can still fail if execution falls short. It aimed for the stars, but in the end it burned out before it got there. The GM Northstar V8 stands as one of the most valuable lessons in modern automotive history, a perfect example of how innovation can outpace practicality. It showed the world that all the cutting-edge tech means nothing if the foundation, reliability, isn't there. The Northstar's high-tech features, such as dual overhead cams, an all-aluminum design, and variable valve timing, were way ahead of their time. Ironically, those same ideas would later become standard across the industry. But when GM tried it, the technology simply wasn't ready for mass production. For enthusiasts willing to take the gamble, a well-maintained Northstar, especially the later supercharged models, delivered real performance and refinement. It could genuinely compete with the best luxury engines from Europe. But for the average luxury car buyer, the Northstar came to symbolize everything frustrating about over-engineering. Too complicated, too fragile, and too expensive to fix. Its story is more than just a tale of one flawed engine. It's a warning about what happens when ambition races ahead of execution. GM reached for the stars with the Northstar, but without the manufacturing reliability to back it up, they came crashing back down. The fallout didn't just tarnish an engine, it hurt the company's image for years. In the end, the Northstar proved one undeniable truth in the automotive world. No matter how sophisticated an engine is, reliability will always be king. So here's the question. Was the Northstar V8 a masterpiece of ambition or a disaster of execution? Maybe it was both. It dared to take on the best from Europe, pushed American engineering to new heights, and revealed the fine line between brilliance and failure. If this deep dive into one of Detroit's boldest experiments hit the mark, make sure to subscribe for more stories that shaped automotive history. Was GM aiming too high, or was the Northstar simply ahead of its time? Share thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay passionate, and see you in the next one.